Here's an idea to consider for disabled people such as blind people. How about technology in and dogs out? For your consideration, we're going to go back to Dewey's Beer Garden, something that we talked about before. So let's hear what this lady has to say.
Astounded because in 2024, a quick Google search will tell you anything you need to know about what the access laws are.
So, technology. So, that's what she's talking about, going on Google and doing a quick search. So, let me bring something to your attention. See these fingernails? You're going to notice these fingernails later on. Now, I'm not 100% sure, but it seems they actually obscure her fingernails later in the video. But there is a spot in this video where it appears the hands typing on the keyboard are her hands. The skin color and the fingernails match up. And I just want to point this out. She doesn't need a dog to do stuff. She's actually dressing the dog here. But we're talking about technology, and so here's my point.
Say, she's trained to guide me.
What does this woman have in her hands? She has a phone. This is probably like a Samsung Galaxy S22 or something like that. The computing power that these phones have, the proximity sensors, the GPS, the gyros. Some of these phones even have gyros and can do all kinds of processing. So there's some technology. And I want to show you this part of the video one more time.
Around obstacles.
She guides the dog with her foot.
Tell me when there's up curbs, down curbs, find entrances.
And then guides the dog with her hand. So she doesn't need the dog. In fact, the dog is something that she has to take care of. So why don't we consider technology instead of going out of our way to push dogs? Is there any kind of technology that could work for blind people? Okay, so here's something. They have a sensor that a blind person can wear on the shoe. It senses light or darkness, and it also senses objects in the person's way. Similar technology can be used with a cane or a stick. This person makes a smart stick at home using things you can buy off the internet. It has the little sensors right here. And with these sensors, you can actually rotate the stick to create like a 3D image of what's in your surroundings. So with this stick, not with like with your shoes, it's detecting an obstacle in front, but the blind person could stop and twist the stick and the little sensor could create a 3D or 2D image via sound or vibration for the blind person. So here's another idea that I have. Do you guys remember pin art? It creates like a topographical image when you touch it in the back. But also, these little pins can be activated by electronic sensors or little motors to create a topographical map that can be touched. So a person can touch this map and understand what's going on. Okay, so with that pin art in mind, let me introduce something to you called haptic technology. So this little pad here on the video uses sound waves to create a virtual map. So the kid is going to touch it, and the kid can recognize this cone shape because the sound waves that are being emitted create a virtual topographic map that can be felt. So for a blind person, couldn't we utilize those sensors to create a 3D map, and then that could use sound, or it could use the pin art technology to create a touchable map of their surroundings. So the sensor can see out where the blind person cannot see, and then use sound or physical touch to create a touchable map that the blind person could interact with, instead of having to haul around a dog that can possibly bite someone, run someone over, or attract other dogs. So that's some technology that we have that seems like it could be super beneficial for blind people. And we also have other haptic technology that is super accurate. So this person can virtually play a guitar with this haptic technology. So this could also send a braille signal to a blind person. So the signals from the sensors could be converted into braille. Perhaps there is a barcode on a business and it could have a braille message, and the person could touch it and read braille. It could say, "You're approaching the business that you are heading for," or "Dewey's beer garden is 25 yards in front of you." So we have all kinds of technology that people are playing with and developing, even in their own homes, that could be used for blind people. As an example of kind of how rudimentary this stuff is, people are making these little shoes for blind people in their homes. So we could incentivize these people, help them create better technology instead of going around and trying to force ill-conceived ADA rules on restaurants that just want to keep their customers safe from dogs. Like all over YouTube, people are playing around with these sensors and creating these smart shoes. This person even has one with an indicator light. So this isn't something that we need like the biggest conglomerate of resources to do. This is something we could even employ people to do. And the reason why I'm showing you this kind of basic DIY stuff that they have on YouTube, it's to show you just how ignorant dog culture is. In the beginning of the Dewey's Bar example, that lady made a smart ass comment about, "Oh, you should just go look on Google." Well, how come people that are interested in saving blind people, instead of attacking a restaurant, how come they don't go look on Google and look up some of this awesome stuff and then go out there and give accolades to people like this that are doing this fun stuff? Another kind of obvious example is a barcode scanner and other type of readers on phones. A blind person could have a phone, and when they enter a business, the the business could be alerted, "Hey, you have someone who's visually impaired coming in here to enjoy a meal." And they could have a person that works there that comes to the door, like a hostess or a waitress, and says, "Oh, okay, you're partially blind. Guess what? We got a special little spot over here for you with a braille menu." There's all kinds of things that we could do to make lives better for blind people with simple, easy technology that could easily blow a dog out of the water. Has our blind lady that loves to trash talk Dewey's Garden ever heard of these quadcopters? Check these out. You can program a GPS map into these and they'll go where you want them. They have obstacle avoidance sensors all over them, top, bottom, left, side. So couldn't some kind of technology like that be used on a blind person's phone? They could speak into the phone, "Guide me to the store that I always visit." And it could tell them when to turn. It could tell them if an obstacle is coming up. It could tell them if a dog is running up and trying to go after their cane. Many blind people have a problem with dogs getting in their way because dogs just don't realize and the owners don't care. So there's all kinds of technology that has been in use for years that we could easily incorporate into a blind person's life because we have the technology, and most blind people have a super duper computer right there in their pocket. So that has been my quick look at an idea of technology in and dogs out. It seems like dogs are always causing conflict. Dogs are always pitting people like Dewey's Beer Garden against people that need to run around and try to enforce ill thought out laws that the ADA has written in the book. Laws that allow people to take any dog anywhere they want. Technology could be so much better, so much more fun. So many people on YouTube at home that love to create these little products could create them and allow blind people to test them, and they would only improve. Every day that we built an electronic product, it would improve. Dogs don't improve. Where dogs are at right now is the best they will ever get. They have no prefrontal lobe. They have a tiny little brain. They have a body that is built to eat things and chase things and sniff things and to hump and make more dog babies, and not much else than that. Just imagine Dewey's Beer Garden here. Maybe they have like a little barcode reader up by the front door. A visually impaired person comes up and they could like have a registry or something Then it would send a little alert to the people in the bar. Hey, the visually impaired group's coming over to do a dinner party. And they could assign a waitress, assign somebody to help them out, give them a braille menu, or have like a translator there for them that could talk to them. And just imagine the awesome human connection that could happen from something like that versus all of this hatred that they pour in the beer garden, all of these smart aleck comments from that lady about just do a Google search. Imagine how much better it would be if we could use the technology that we have, use the brains that we have to help disabled people instead of forcing dogs on everybody, only to create more conflict.